So, it's been about a month since I've looked at the SR125. The whole time I've been waiting for a carburetor kit to come in the post. I ordered this one from France because I wanted a keister carburetor kit. They're some of the best carb kits you can get. With a Chinese one, you'd only be doing it again 6 months later, in my opinion anyway. So I've been waiting for this to come. And I could have done some other jobs in the meantime, but truth be told, I've been spending a lot of time clocking in and out of work, doing a little bit of riding, and looking after a 3-month-old daughter as well. So I've got 2 hours or so today. I'm going to get the carb off this SR125. I'm going to get it stripped and cleaned and hopefully get these fitted. I might have to take the carb to work and blow it out with an airline, but I'll bring you along for everything. I'll show you exactly how I'm going to do it on this, and at the end of the video we should have a really nicely running SR125, so stay tuned.
Okay, so first things first, I'm going to take the seat off. Feeling a little bit crusty. There's that lovely condition. I've not actually had the seat off this yet, believe it or not. I've had it since the end of April. It's now the 1st of June. Seat will just lift off now. There we go. The seats seem really good, Nick. It was fresh fuel that we put in, but even that looks varnishy, so the carb's probably not going to look great. One tank bolt. Don't you just love the simplicity of stripping older bikes? It's great. There's no fuel pump, there's not 5 connectors, it's just fuel off, tank off. It's great. Let's get this carb off then. Okay, that's good. This should just come up. There it is, so that's your needle. That all looks quite clean. One little tip, if you're working on a Japanese bike, a little tip is to find a JIS screwdriver. These little things, all the little fixings that seemingly have a Phillips head, they're not Phillips, they're Japanese industrial standard. And if they're rounded off, you'd be much better off with a JIS screwdriver. So it's as simple as that really. It should just wiggle off now. I might have to loosen the airbox, but we'll just see if it will come without too much fuss. Ah, look at that.
There we go, one carburetor off the bike. So it looks a little bit varnishy inside. We won't know until we take the float bowl off. So let's get to it.
Right, let's get the float bowl off and just remove anything that might come away and get lost. What's inside the float bowl? Oh dear.
That's exactly what you don't want to see when you look inside a carburetor. Absolutely
green with varnish, but the bike's sat for 13 years. See all that green stuff in the float bowl? Not brilliant. Loads and loads of built up crud on the floats. It's all built up inside. Oh, that's crusty in there. What I'm trying to do is just push this pin out so I can take the float out. Oh, there we go. Right, one pin. And a very crusty set of floats. Now that'll be exactly the reason that the float needle valve isn't working. It's really in poor condition, this is exactly why it was just peeing fuel out of the carb as soon as we started it. The jets are 7mm. The tube came with it. Well, that's fine. This is the emulsion tube, so fuel travels up the main jet. This is when you wide open throttle and goes into the carb body, where it's then sucked through into the engine. Right then. Oh, such a thick film. Okay. One main jet. One emulsion tube. That's where the float needle valve went into, so this is your fuel inlet. You can see where the fuel would come in through the pipe here, travel down and into this section. The float needle valve blocks it, and essentially when the float's at the correct height, it'll let the correct amount of fuel through. Next little thing we're going to get out is the pilot jet. This is what clogs up most commonly. It's coming apart quite nicely. So there's another thing to get out here, which is the mixture screw. There's a specific setting for this in the service manual. There's our spring. That looks brand spanking new. On the vast majority of bikes, you've got a tiny little seal and a washer that sticks up inside this tube here, but I cannot see a single thing. I will check an EPC, but it doesn't actually look like it in the carb kit either. This here is your idle adjuster. That should just unscrew by hand. This is dead simple. Literally just pulls in and out. That's all moving freely. Little seal on the end. That looks good. Take this boot off. Without taking this off, it's about as stripped as you're going to get it. What I'm going to do next is take this and all the little bits, I'm going to blast them all out.
So I get this bagged up and well, see it work, I suppose.
So here I am on my lunch break in work with a tin of carburetor cleaner and the compressed air. I could have sent the carb away to someone with an ultrasonic cleaner and had it done that way, and that's a great way to do it, but not everybody has an ultrasonic cleaner just lying around, so I kind of wanted to just showcase that it can be done without one. Compressed air is very handy. You can buy it in a tin can, so make sure you're blowing through the passageways after leaving it soak in carb cleaner for a couple of days if you're doing it via this method. It's not a how-to video, but it works for me. And make sure that you can feel the air coming through the other side when you're blowing through with the compressed air. In terms of removing all the gunk off the float bowl and all the components, leave them soak as long as you can, and it's just good old elbow grease, giving them a great scrub and getting it all off before reassembly.
Okay, so it's now the evening. We have a clean carb after the lunch break at work today. So let's quickly get this carb back together and get it on the bike, and then tomorrow, because it's getting late, we'll try and start it up.
And those are parts that are going back on. So let's get into the new ones and play a game of what goes where. Okay, so it comes with a new needle as well. Since we've got it, we may as well fit it. New seal on the new mixture screw. New spring as well. That can be the first to go in. Now we do have some handy spec. Pilot screw 2. So 2 screws out I'm going to go. And then it also gives me a float height of 28.5 millimeters and an idle speed of 1300. So that's lightly seated, and let's go 2 turns out. Okay. I'm going to say they're the same. So let's get one over this. And that will be a new one for our idle adjustment screw as well. Now it does beg the question, where does this little seal go? They look like the same seal, so we're going to go with that. 38 for the pilot jet, 102 for the main jet. Get this idle adjuster in. Okay, that's fully home, and I think I'm going to go a good 2 turns out, and I'd rather go in and increase the speed than have to quickly wind it down. Tiny little needle valve. And they need to spring like that, they won't work otherwise.
So I forgot to bring my vernier gauges back from work, which means I've got to use this comically long meter, I think it's a meter, ruler to measure the float height. It's a bit overkill for 28mm, but that's what I've got, so I'm going to do it.
And take your measurement from the base of the carb to the top of the float. That's the general rule, but it does vary from carb to carb, and we're pretty bang on there, to be fair. Let's try again. Hey, we're sorted.
Okay, it's now the next day, so let's see if the hard work pays off.
Okay, so it's stone cold. Let's turn that fuel on. It's quite a warm day, but I think if we go half choke. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see what it'll do. Oh, ideal. Well, in that case, I think it'd be rude not to at least just go up and down the street, make sure the gears work. I believe they do. That clutch is very far out.
Okay, so we're one step closer to getting this little SR125 back on the road. If you remember from episode 1, it didn't idle, it didn't really rev particularly well, and it leaked fuel out the carb as well. All those issues are remedied with that full carb kit that we've just fitted, so I'm quite pleased with the way it's going. Now we can turn attention to other things. If you remember from episode 1, we pointed out that there was a snapped bolt in the cylinder head from the exhaust header. It's also full of rust, so I need to get this off and get rid of the rust, sort out the snapped bolt. That'll be interesting on the next episode, and then I can start looking at the rest of the bike. There's rust on the wheels, etc. If you didn't see episode 1, go back and have a look, and we had a good look over of what needed doing. So that'll be in episode 3, getting rid of the rust and sorting other bits out. But I'm really happy with the way it's going, and thanks for the engagement in the last video as well. I didn't expect a lot with it being the first video, but I've got a few guys who say they've got SRs and they want to learn a bit more, and that they thought the videos were good, which is a great feeling, making something and putting it out there and people coming back with good feedback, so I appreciate that. If you want to leave a comment, please do. Click the subscribe button if you'd like to see more on episode 3. I do a little bit to do with bikes as well, so I've got another Project SV650 over here that I've started, and I've got a Turner that I tend to do a bit of off-road riding on as well, so if you feel like you might want to see something like that, leave a comment, let me know, and I can see what I can do. So thanks a lot, appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next episode.